sorry, but if you're a man and you watch me struggle to put my carry-on in the overhead compartment and you don't offer to help, jail. What is wrong with you?
I just watched this guy stand with his hands on his hips, watching a woman struggle to lift and carry a kayak. He didn't even so much as flinch to offer any assistance, just stood there watching. And we wonder why women would rather just do life on their own.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from Dating Rights titled, "They are furious that men are refusing to help women." Honestly, maybe they should have thought of that before calling us all useless and demanding that we don't help them. I find this funny, right? Women have been telling us to help them, not to help them, excuse me, right? But then when we don't help them, they get pissed off about it. I mean, make it make sense. Now, today's video was suggested to me by Hadan the Mummy, so don't forget to subscribe to both of their channels, and let's jump right into it.
Guys, I just realized there is no hope in mankind, literally. Today, I was at Roselands, went down the escalator. It was a bit wet. I slipped, banged my head, almost got my hair caught in the escalator, scabbed my knee, and literally everyone looked, but no one helped. No one helped. No one even asked me if I was okay. Legit. And look at my knee. Look at my knee. Like, are you kidding me?
She slipped, fell, and skinned her knee. Most adults learn when they are children that a skinned knee is no big deal, but we are dealing with modern women. They're not exactly what we would call grown up a lot of the time.
Left your toddler on the top of the stairs. You went down, set your camera up, went back up, and lifted up your toddler and the stroller with no issues whatsoever. But you're mad that the man that was standing there didn't offer to help you. The entitlement that some of y'all have is out of this world because you feel like you're just supposed to walk around and strangers are just supposed to jump to make your life more convenient.
What makes it worse was how she left her child unattended in front of a man to go and set up that camera. Her desire to bash men was more important than the safety and well-being of her own child. That is crazy.
And what's crazy about this entire video, I bet you if you asked that man for help, he would have simply just helped you with no problem. But because you didn't get what you wanted, you want to record him and try to embarrass him on the internet. But really, all you did was embarrass yourself because, again, you lifted that toddler with the stroller with no problem whatsoever. So you didn't even need help. You just felt entitled to being helped.
No, ma'am, you guys are strong and independent. You can do everything by yourself, so do it.
This isn't about women wanting help from men. This is about modern women wanting more and more excuses to shame men online for the sake of making quote-unquote content.
Our generation is actually cooked, and I had to just come to this realization earlier today because yesterday I was bringing a desk into my apartment and I thought I would make a funny video about how I brought this desk in and no one offered to help me. So I made the caption, "Brought this desk in and not a single man offered to help me," because I do believe that men are good. I do believe in chivalry, and I think that there are men out there who would see a girl struggling and want to help her, right? So I was kind of shocked that not only in this experience, but in past experiences from moving in things into my apartment or doing whatever, lifting heavy things, that people just don't offer, especially men.
She had no problem lifting that desk and moving it around herself. She didn't need any help. She wanted help because she sees men as nothing more than service providers whose sole purpose of existing is just to serve her.
So I made this video and I posted it just thinking like it would be relatable. No. TikTok said, no, I'm going to humble you real quick. TikTok took my video and just shoved it in the wrong male audience. There are comments that say like, maybe if you weren't a 2 out of 10, someone would have helped you. And then another one was, why didn't you ask the bear for help? And then another one said, well, I bought ingredients for a sandwich and no woman came into the kitchen to help me. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, that's putting women in a category of all you're good for is making me food, you dumb little girl.
Women like this love to use comments as like proof that their lives are oppressed. She can't handle a few bear and sandwich comments, so she gets defensive and implies that men were only put on this earth to help her move heavy objects. Ridiculous.
Me asking a man to help, not even asking, you're just assuming or hoping that a man would help a girl with lifting something heavy actually plays into their physiological design. Men literally are designed to love to help. Men's bodies are designed to be stronger than women, okay? Like, this is tapping into something that is actually, like, truth, that is not insulting. Like, I think you can do it, so it would be nice if you did it. And also, that video is so funny because it plays into a broader topic of, like, you could replace man with human. I brought this desk in and no human offered to help me, because that really is the root of it. We are all so selfish as a society. We don't really want to help anyone. It's all about ourselves. That's the true form of Satanism.
Satanism has nothing to do with her desk. If she had just asked a guy to help her, he might have done it. But she wanted to feel special, so she just blindly expected a man to assume she needed help. That's not Satanism, that's just being delusional.
I'm just going to do a side tangent. Satanism is not the real worship of the devil. Satanism is the worship of yourself. Anyway, that's a side rant I could post another time. But the video is attracting, and I'm getting out-ratioed. And I don't care, like, and this is another thing, thank God. I love Jesus, and my identity is rooted in what he did on the cross, not what the internet says or what the world says about me. Because if I took my value in what the world said about me, A, my emotions would constantly be up and down, and 2, I would think I'm a 2 out of 10 loser, okay?
You can tell that she is bothered by the fact that her video got absolutely ratioed. That's why she's trying to make her pathetic attempt at shaming look like some kind of a metaphorical religious issue.
So thank God that these comments don't affect me. But on a deeper level, it's like, wow, men really hate women. Because they're like, I thought you were an independent woman. Ask the bear. That's just so gross. It's like, if you see this, like, as a man, I would hope that the good men in my life, I know that they would say, no, as men, we need to stand up and change the path that we're going on as a society. I just think that the whole comment section is such a red flag. The commenters are a red flag. The likers of the commenters are a red flag. It's like, it's the principle. Yes, I can lift a desk. Yes, I am strong. Thank God I have a working body that's able to do these.
Modern women literally told men to leave them alone, that men were never to approach or help because it was oppression and we're potentially violent and all that sort of stuff, right? But now that she has to move a desk, all of a sudden it's the men who need to do better.
Things, right? But it's just the overarching principle that we don't want to help anyone, and especially men, they don't want to step up to the challenge. And they're trying to blame feminism. Feminism killed chivalry, okay? No, that's actually not true. Since the beginning of the time, that we love to say, oh, Eve sinned, women messed up the whole earth. No, actually, the Bible says that Eve was by herself. It was Adam's passivity and not putting his foot down and saying, no, Eve, we're not going to do that. That was the downfall of humanity, okay? So we see the same thing right now. Men just stepping back going, oh, look at the women, they're ruining it.
Feminists have ruined everything. Ever since feminism dug its claws in women, they've become more bitter, masculine, and aggressive. And that aggression was pointed directly at men who have done literally nothing wrong. What did you think was going to happen, madam?
Oh, the feminists, they're ruining it. No, as a man, you're designed to lead, step up and lead, and say, you know, we're going to put our foot down and we're going to bring back masculinity in the Christian way, in the respective way, not in like an overarching like patriarchy way. Do you know what I mean? It's so disappointing.
So feminists want men to lead, but only in the right way, which means doing what a woman wants, how she wants, and when she wants. That's not actually leading, that's just simping and doing what the woman wants.
Some Korean men are refusing to help women. A few days ago, a woman in her 20s lost consciousness and fainted when she was on the subway. Apparently, there were a bunch of men in their 20s and 30s who refused to help, and saying something to the extent of, it has nothing to do with me, which got the women on the internet pissed. According to the Korean woman, the reason being, all able-bodied Korean men have to serve military service. They do learn CPR in the military. So it was expected for men in their 20s and 30s who likely just got out of the military to jump in and help because they know how to do CPR.
The problem is that even if a man who is trained in CPR goes in and saves a woman's life, she still has the power to destroy his life by saying that he touched her without her consent, and therefore he assaulted her.
But a lot of the men on the train didn't. And their reason being, they did not want to be accused of sexual harassment. There were a few incidents where men were actually accused for sexual harassment, for trying to help the women. Back in 2014, a South Korean woman had actually tried to sue a male EMT paramedic for doing CPR and doing chest compressions on her. Although the paramedic wasn't charged or convicted with anything, since he was reported, he still had to go through an investigation. There was also another story shared of a Korean guy going up the steps in the subway station, and there was a woman in front of him seemingly about to fall. He put out his hands and tried to grab her from the back to prevent her from falling. The girl freaked out and called the police on him, and he ended up in the police station. That being said, these are all the men's side of the story. They'd rather be a bystander than getting their names tainted with SA. This all seems a little crazy to me. I mean, I get it if you don't want to touch the person because you don't know what's going on. At least call for help. What do you think?
Even when men try to do the right thing and try to protect women, the same women turn around and try to ruin their lives. When a man runs a risk like that, nobody can blame him for not wanting to get involved in the first place.
A pregnant woman has been left outraged after an Asda delivery driver refused to deliver the food to the first floor of a block of flats. Now, as you can see, this Asda delivery driver has delivered all of this food and he's put it at the bottom of the steps. Now, basically the woman in the background is essentially saying, you know, I'm pregnant, I need help lifting all of this food up, and you haven't given me any bags as well. Now, according to the customer, she has ordered bags with this food, but essentially the Asda delivery driver is saying you haven't ordered any bags. There was no bags on the system or actually on the receipt, so I can't give you them because you actually have to buy them, and he obviously doesn't have any extra in his van. Now,
this sounds incredibly inconvenient, but at the same time, this pregnant woman had no problem going down the stairs with her phone camera to give this guy crap, so she's not nearly as immobile as she's claiming.
I would love to see what you guys think about this, because technically Asda, Tesco, Sainsbury's staff technically don't actually have to deliver it right to your door. All they need to do is to deliver it into the residence, and technically this man has done exactly what he is supposed to do. He's done his job, he's delivered the food. Now, I do understand, I do sympathise with the woman. She's pregnant, maybe she's, you know, she can't lift too much, but as you can see, it doesn't really look that much of a heavy item, but I understand at both sides. Now, let me know what you guys think about this one. What do you think about this Asda delivery driver leaving all of this food on the floor? Looks like there's nappy, toilet rolls, laundry detergent, milk and lemonade.
Ripping into the driver is pointless. The guy is doing his job and he's followed company policy to the letter. If she has an issue, she needs to take it up with corporate office, not the guy who just delivers the order.
Y'all, this woman expected this man to help her with her groceries, even though she rejected him on multiple occasions. He would see her around the apartment complex sometimes and he would try to holler at her, get her number and try to get to know her. But every single time she was like, no, I'm good. So she wrote, it's this dude in my complex that stay trying to talk to me, right? But I don't never pay him no mind, for real. So while I'm struggling trying to bring in some groceries, a case of water, and keep my kids from running down the street, right? And he gonna say, see, this is why you need a man. And so she said, well, can you maybe help me real quick? And then she gonna say, y'all, why this ninja gonna say, no, not me. I tried to be the man you needed.
He made it clear that she didn't even like this guy, but she still expects him to help her with her groceries. That's not happening. He's a man, not a butler.
I washed my hands of you last time I said hi. She said, why I dropped a case of water and they start rolling everywhere, and he gonna look at me and say, I should call my baby daddy. Now, do y'all think that man wrong for not helping her? Because I strongly believe that a gentleman is gonna be a gentleman no matter what. But I'm not saying that he wrong or right about this. But while there were a couple of people saying, damn, he could have helped her, whatever, there was a lot of people, especially men, commenting saying, well, she should have gave that man a chance.
If these women want men to act like gentlemen, then they need to be ladylike. Being born a woman doesn't guarantee respect and adoration. Those things have to be earned. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.